NBA star Naz Reid's family has been thrust into unimaginable grief following the tragic and senseless killing of his sister, Naz Reid, in New Jersey this past weekend. The devastating news has rippled far beyond the confines of their family, touching fans, friends, and even those who never knew her personally, as the sheer brutality of the act and the heartbreaking circumstances surrounding it have left many stunned and shaken. Naz was just 28 years old, her life cut short by someone she once trusted and loved, and her death has opened up a painful conversation about the dangers of domestic violence, the fragility of life, and the unbearable weight of sudden loss. The details of the crime are harrowing. On Saturday morning, police were called to an apartment complex in Jackson Township, not far from Toms River, New Jersey, after reports of gunfire rang out. When officers arrived around 11 a.m., they found Naz lying unresponsive, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The image of a young woman's life ending so violently in a place that should have been a safe space for her is difficult to comprehend. As emergency responders rushed to her side, it was already too late. The scene, described as chaotic and heartbreaking, has since become etched in the memory of neighbors who heard the shots and witnessed the aftermath of the crime. Police quickly identified the suspect as 29-year-old Shaquille Green, Naz's boyfriend. Authorities revealed that Green was seen running from the scene, attempting to flee up the street in the aftermath of the shooting. He was apprehended soon after and charged with murder, marking the end of what appears to have been a relationship that spiraled into violence and, ultimately, tragedy. The idea that someone she loved and trusted could take her life adds another cruel layer to this devastating story, leaving her family not only grieving her loss, but also grappling with feelings of betrayal and disbelief. For those closest to Naz, the loss is almost impossible to articulate. Her younger sister, Jakaya Smith, shared a raw and emotional message on Facebook that captured the overwhelming shock of the tragedy. She wrote that she had spoken to Naz the very night before, laughing and joking with her, completely unaware that within hours she would be gone forever. Her words painted a vivid picture of how sudden and cruel loss can be, how a simple phone call with a sibling can go from an ordinary exchange to the last conversation one will ever have. Jakaya's anguish spilled out as she confessed that she could never forgive God for taking Naz from her, expressing the kind of pain that makes faith feel impossible and grief feel all-consuming. She admitted she couldn't even bear to put her sister's name in the same sentence as the word death, clinging to disbelief and wishing, if only for a moment, that the entire situation was just a horrible prank. The relationship between siblings is often one of deep, unconditional love, and in the case of Naz and her family, that bond is evident. Naz Reid, best known for his rising career in the NBA with the Minnesota Timberwolves, had previously spoken about his sister in an interview with MSP Magazine in 2023. He described her as super protective and someone who often acted like a second parent to him and their siblings. Those words now carry even greater weight, underscoring the profound role she played in his life, not just as a sister, but as a caretaker, confidant, and guiding presence. Her absence will leave a void not only in the lives of those who knew her best, but also in the heart of a professional athlete who now must continue his career while carrying the unbearable grief of losing someone so central to his world. For Naz, whose own story has been one of determination and perseverance on the court, this personal tragedy is a stark reminder that no amount of success or fame shields a person from the harsh realities of life. He has fought hard for his place in the NBA, rising from being an undrafted player to a key contributor for his team, admired for his resilience and work ethic. Off the court, however, the strength required to endure the loss of his sister will be an entirely different challenge, one that cannot be met with training or practice, but instead with time, love, and support. Fans and teammates alike are now rallying around him, offering condolences and words of comfort in the face of this unimaginable pain. Naz's death is not just the story of a young woman whose life was stolen, but also part of a larger, devastating pattern. Domestic violence continues to claim lives every day, often behind closed doors and away from public view. It leaves families shattered, children without parents, siblings without sisters or brothers, and communities reeling in the wake of senseless acts of violence. In the U.S., statistics show that an average of 3 women are killed by intimate partners every day, a chilling reality that adds weight to Naz's story. Her death is not just a personal loss for the Reid family, but also another tragic reminder of a widespread issue that continues to demand urgent attention. As the legal process unfolds, with Green now facing the charge of murder, questions will inevitably arise about the signs that may have been missed, the moments that could have served as warnings, and whether more could have been done to protect Torreya. These questions, though, often unanswerable, linger painfully for families of victims who replay events in their minds and torture themselves with what-ifs. For those who love Torreya, the focus now shifts to keeping her memory alive, celebrating who she was, and ensuring that her story is not forgotten or reduced solely to the tragic way in which her life ended. Stories shared by her family already highlight the kind of person she was: caring, protective, vibrant, and full of life. She was not defined by her death, but by the way she lived, the bonds she formed, and the love she gave to her family. The grief expressed by Jakaya, the admiration expressed by Naz, and the tributes that will surely continue to pour and paint. The picture of a woman whose life, though brief, was deeply meaningful. The community in New Jersey where Torreya lived is also grappling with the weight of her death. Neighbors who heard the shots that morning have spoken about the horror of realizing that the violence they heard was the end of a young woman's life. Vigils are already being discussed as friends and family look for ways to come together in solidarity, to mourn, to cry, and to remember. In times of tragedy, these gatherings serve as both a source of comfort and a powerful reminder of the collective need to fight back against the cycles of violence that claim too many lives. The broader world of sports, Naz's tragedy has struck a chord with fans and fellow athletes. Professional sports may often seem like a realm far removed from everyday life, filled with the glamour of games, endorsements, and fame. Yet moments like this remind us that athletes are people first, with families, loved ones, and vulnerabilities. Naz's loss has humanized him in a way that statistics and highlights never could, and it has created a wave of empathy that stretches far beyond the court. Teammates, rivals, and fans alike are offering prayers and condolences, their words serving as small but meaningful gestures in the face of an overwhelming loss. The conversation surrounding Torreya's death will undoubtedly evolve as more details emerge, as the case against Green proceeds through the courts, and as her family navigates the long, painful journey of grief. Yet, in the here and now, what stands out is the profound sense of loss, the stolen potential of a life that should have been long and full, and the heartbreak of siblings who must somehow go on without the one who always looked out for them. For Jakahia, the grief expressed in her Facebook post will not fade quickly. The disbelief, the anger, the sense of betrayal, these emotions are raw now, but they will also linger, surfacing again and again in moments both expected and unexpected. For Naz, the quiet moments away from the spotlight may be the hardest, when the noise of the arena fades and he is left alone with the silence of absence. For the Reid family as a whole, gatherings will forever feel incomplete, with one chair left empty, one laugh missing from the room.